You are a Democratic strategist. Thank you for joining us live from Washington. Do you think that all of this going back and forth was a complete waste of time?
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly was. There's no reason that this is what the Missouri legislature needed to spend any time on. I don't know why the gentlewoman from, I don't know her district off the top of my head, apologies, thought that she needed to. She made it very clear in her speech that, you know, she didn't feel people were meeting some level of decorum. I guess she's in charge of what that level is. I mean, I can't imagine any voter in Missouri is watching this and thinking, oh, good, this is what they're talking about. This is not what the Missouri voters are concerned about. It's not why they sent people to their legislature, and it's not what they want to see their elected officials spending any time on.
But in terms of this being something that was proposed by a woman, so it was two women really going back and forth about what appropriate dress code is. There had to have been something that sparked all this. There had to be some level of, I don't know, maybe people were wearing too much. Do we know?
We don't know. There was reference to the sequin and velveteen. It sounds like the Republican side of the aisle made some kind of comments about what was being worn, or if someone didn't have a jacket on for a minute, so their arms were showing. But I don't think they were debating about what dress. The debate was one side saying we're in charge of what everyone should wear and what quote unquote decorum means, and the other side saying policing women, looking at these women's outfits and judging for yourself whether it's okay or not is not what should be happening. And I think, to her point too, there becomes a slippery slope. Today we're talking about jackets versus sweaters. Tomorrow we're talking about someone's hair color, or can you wear a bright pop of lipstick? I mean, this can keep going on and on, but what we're doing is focusing on how women look and what they're wearing, and not what they're bringing to the state legislature, which is policies and ideas and intellect and leadership on key issues.
But I think that there will be some people who say, well, you know what? There was a time in this country where you had to wear a jacket to go to a restaurant. You had to dress a certain way to get on a plane or to get on a cruise ship, and everything has just become so casual. I mean, we're living in a sweatsuits and pajama pants society at this point, a yoga pants society. So perhaps this is an attempt by some to raise the standard.
Well, look, Missouri had a dress code. There was one for women already. They're not putting in a dress code because people were rolling in pajama pants and they felt like that was a problem. This is really getting nitpicky about a certain type of blazer, the fabric that it can be made of. This is not about having people dress a certain way because there was a problem. This is another place where we're putting some controls, we're policing what women are doing, and we're just putting this emphasis on what they're wearing and what they look like, instead of talking about the real issues that are facing the people of Missouri. People in Missouri want to be talking about the economy, they want to be talking about their schools, they want to be talking about crime, they want to be addressing the problems that they feel they're facing, and the reasons that on both sides of the aisle why they sent that elected person to represent them. Neither side of the aisle is overwhelmingly saying, hey, I know what we need to talk about, what everyone's wearing on the House chamber as they're voting.
It's going to be something that goes viral. I'm sure people are looking at it on their Twitter feed today. Thank you so much, Nicole. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.